Talk about, there are other people, Richard, how did you get Richard Chamberlain to do this?
It ended up that we have a mutual friend. He's not an emailer, and I FedExed him a letter. And a couple days later, I was driving home, and I got a call on my cell phone number I didn't recognize, and I answered the phone. He said, "Hi, Mitchell, it's Richard Chamberlain. Got your letter. I'd love to be part of your book." And people had the choice of either writing their own chapter, or my sister-in-law, Mindy, and I would go and interview them and then edit it for them. But he wrote a chapter, sent it to me within 2 weeks. He was fantastic. I was so excited talking to him.
Anybody turn it down, say, "I don't want to do this"?
A couple people.
You know, just didn't want what?
Well, the interesting thing is I think most of the people that turned me down, it was very few, but they said things like, my story wasn't very interesting. You know, I really didn't have that much pain. And as it turns out, a lot of people say that at first, but then when they start really thinking about it and remembering, they've blocked a lot of this out. A lot of people have blocked this out. So the ones that turned me down were people I weren't all that interested in anyway. It wasn't that important to the book. But once I had a good diversity of people, that's what was important to me.
Talk about the religious dimension of all this.
Well, I think it's one of the great moral failings of America today that America is allowing this to go on. It is okay for people to have whatever religious beliefs they want. It is not okay to use your religious beliefs to legislate civil rights for others people. And America is better than that. America can do better than that. James Dobson is running around the state of California saying the world's coming to an end if gay people get married. And we're going to look back at that 20 years from now and see how silly it is. It's the same things that were said about interracial marriage. And I lived through that. I remember the interracial marriage law being overturned by the Supreme Court. But too many people take their interpretation of the Bible to be the thing that everybody should live by. And they have to have more respect for other people's dignity. But it is the root cause of why
What is in the Bible that
people
makes so many people believe that there's a...
Well, there's 7 clobber sections in there. And one is in Leviticus where it says, "Man shall not lay with man as he would with woman. It is an abomination, and they will be put to death." And people that stick to their Bible and talk about that, you know, I really caution them. I say, if you want to quote the Bible, read it carefully, because it also says they shall be put to death. Who's going to put me to death for being gay? I mean, it sounds silly as we sit and talk in a way, but I think, you know, in a lot of areas where people are devout fundamentalists, there's a real anti-gay attitude.
And that's where you hear this idea of hate the sin and love the sinner.
Well, and I think that is today's phrase for separate but equal. And just to say love the sinner, hate the sin, that word hate is a strong word. And in fact, I just saw the FBI statistics that hate crimes against gays are increasing again this year.
And why is that?
Because you've got people running around saying love the sinner, hate the sin,
right.
And they are so strongly anti-gay.
Is any denomination taking a more enlightened attitude about this?
Yes, and I'm glad you brought it up, because I don't want to give the impression that all religions are against gay, because it's not true at all. United Church of Christ, parts of the Episcopal Church, Reformed Judaism, Conservative Judaism. There are plenty of people, in fact...
How about the Catholic Church?
Catholic Church, not so good.
Yeah. How about the Southern Baptist Church?
Oh, not so good at all. You know, it's interesting about the Southern Baptist Church, because in the late 90s, they came out and apologized to black people for their role in slavery, and they apologized for their role in segregation. And I wonder today, as I sit here, when they're going to apologize to their gay children.
I'm going to ask this question carefully, only because I don't know where the debate is, how much progress has been made in your lifetime in terms of how society looks at sexual orientation. How much progress? Where is it better? You know, where is there some sense that people are responding to the idea of fairness?
There's 2 silos that are happening. One silo is it's dramatically better. I mean, gay people...
How about the corporate sector, period?
I was going to say, in the corporate sector, corporations have realized that the best talent is the best talent, whether they're gay, straight, Catholic, Jewish, black, white, pink, or yellow. So there's been enormous progress. I mean, I never in my lifetime thought that as a gay person I could have a job as a furniture entrepreneur. I never thought I could work at a place like Bloomingdale's. And I've done those
things. When you
things.
say that, you mean Bloomingdale's carries your furniture and has big sections
devoted. That's where I started my career.
Oh, that's right. You started as a buyer.
Right, I started as a buyer there.
Right.
I mean, there's gay people, you know, Barney Frank, Tammy Baldwin. I never thought that I would ever live to see a gay person in Congress.
Business. We're in an economic crisis. Mitchell Gold is a furniture company that sells furniture to Bloomingdale's, and you have your own stores. And,
right.
And are you feeling the economic crisis as a manufacturer? Feeling the crisis?
Well, if there's a list of needed purchases,
right.
Furniture's down at the bottom.
Right.
Food, health care,
right.
and so on come before that. And there's definitely a turn down that we're feeling. You know, if there's 15–20% less business out there the past 4 weeks,
right.
because people are losing their jobs on Wall Street. You know, when
right.
Lehman Brothers closes, that's a lot of my customers.
Lehman Brothers closed?
I mean, not when Lehman Brothers closed, but when they go bankrupt and people aren't getting bonuses, and there's I'm sorry. You know, those are a lot of our customers. The whole panic on, I don't want to say panic on Wall Street, but the crisis
panic
on Wall Street. Panic would not be an incorrect word. But there's a lot of people that are unemployed. A lot of people not getting their bonuses.
Yeah.
Not
and
a lot
what
of
you're
people
finding is that there's a 15 to 20% decline in the number of orders from stores who sell furniture to your manufacturing company.
That's what the furniture industry is finding in the past 4 weeks.
Wow. And what do you see? What's the projection for the... Are you having to lay off people?
Well, we're not replacing people.
I see. So it's attrition.
Yeah, it's attrition. But we saw last spring that the economy was getting tough. So we started to tighten our belt and be much more careful with expenses.
This last thing, and I say this because I've read about this and know about this, you are in many ways considered a model employer because of practices you have, management practices you have instituted in terms of sort of respect for the people who work for you.
That's a big word for us. Respect is a two-way street.
Mitchell Gold Bob Williams is the company. The book is called Crisis, 40 Stories Revealing the Personal, Social, and Religious Pain and Trauma of Growing Up Gay in America. Thank you.
It's good to be with you.
Thank you for joining us. See you next time.